Alrighty, many thanks for joining us. Today, the 19th day of August 2026, is an amazing day right here in the city of Lagos and in the studio. My name is Gratitude Imokwede, and you're welcome to another exciting episode of Page by Page on Romy Royal Television. And with me is an amazing personality, my co-host to do justice to our topic of discussion for today. How are you doing, Boo?
I'm doing very well, Gratitude. An amazing personality in there.
Ah.
You're looking very peng as always.
Oh, thank you, Suitman.
You're welcome, our amazing viewers, to yet another segment of Page by Page on Romy Royal Media. My name is Bubu Durugu, and today we are talking about a video making rounds on social media where the Honorable Minister of the FCT, in the person of the Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, GCRS, CON, and POS Africa, was seen making a video, or in a video rather, where he was saying that if the president had wanted to win the Osun State gubernatorial election, that he would have been
sent.
Yeah, he would have been sent, or he would have been involved. So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, first off, the first question I have for Nyesom Wike is, where do you get your audacity from? Where do you get your confirmations from? He speaks as though he's the president's right-hand man. Like, without him, the president is non-functional. And you know, he went ahead to say something else concerning the 2027 election. He said, and I quote, "The opposition should start crying now. They can never win," underline the word never. They can never win the 2027 election against Tinubu. Like, where did he get his confirmations from? I think they should begin to ask him questions. Like, it's really a lot. We've been talking about holding the politicians, the elites, accountable for their actions, and here is someone coming out to say with this with so much audacity. It's questionable. It is.
So, His Excellency, the former governor of Rivers State, has spoken like a true politician. You would not expect a politician to come out and tell you that he's going to lose or his principal is going to lose. You understand? So
he's spoken like a true politician.
Yeah, he's spoken like a true politician, because you do not expect a politician to come out to tell you that, oh, my principal is going to lose or we are going to lose the election. There was something he said during that video. He said something that the Osun State election has shown the other opposition party that they stand no ground, which is, for example, now, you saw how the ADC did. It was clearly between the Accord and the APC. ADC, which is the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, you saw how his candidate did. The other, Governor Adeleke got 511 million votes, while the APC guy got about 400 and something, 511,000 votes. The APC guy got about 400 and something thousand votes, while the ADC guy got about 17,000. You can see the wide margin. So in other words, he's now telling, from what I read from watching the video, I feel like he's telling the ADC people that you can clearly see that the people do not clearly want it. So what I'm going to say in essence is, Nyesom Wike has done this before. We've seen it in September of 2020, where he went to Edo State, and a lot of people are coming out to say that, oh, it looks like Nyesom Wike would have gone to rig the election for the president and all of that. No. In 2020, when he went to Edo State to show his support for Governor Obaseki, he said something. He said, Edo people, you have seen the good works I've done, or the good works I did or I'm doing in Rivers State. Governor Obaseki has promised me that if he comes into power, he's going to do exactly what I'm doing in Rivers State. And nobody's going to take it away from him. He did exceptionally well when he was governor of Rivers State. He created a lot. Most people say, oh yes, he created flyover and all of that, which are infrastructures that the people do not actually need. But if you look well into that thing, there are a lot of things, a lot of flyovers that were actually really, really important. I'm going to give an example. The Rumola flyover was extremely needed. Let's even forget about the flyover and all of that he did. Let's take a look at the schools he renovated. I can mention, off the top of my head, almost 10 schools built by the FCT minister. So you're not going to expect him to come out to say that, oh, his principal is going to lose, or his principal is going to lose the election, come 2027.
If you're of the opinion that Nyesom Wike is right for making that statement, I think we need to question your character as well. Because it's different for you to say that, oh, I am so certain that my party is going to win. I'm so certain I'm going to win. But speaking of your opposition party with so much arrogance and saying that, okay, the other party has no chance, they should start crying. What kind of filthy statement is that?
Okay, if you're saying that, let's clear things. The People Democratic Party, the PDP, are not going to be. I don't think they are presenting any candidate, which is not even the first time we are seeing a coalition like this. In 2011, the same thing was done for President Goodluck Jonathan, where there was coalition, where a lot of people, other political party came out to say, okay, we are not going to contest and we are going to support this particular person. You get, and let's be factual. It's a political statement. You get.
Mm-hmm.
Politics is a game of numbers. It's a game of emotions. So far you're not breaking the law, which Nyesom Wike is a lawyer. You get, and I think his wife is the Chief Justice of Rivers State, if I'm not mistaken. He's a lawyer and he knows the law. So far you're not breaking the law. You can actually say things to wrap. We've all seen this several times. I feel like whenever His Excellency, the former governor of Rivers State and current FCT minister, come out to say something, the media comes out to like create a narrative of it. If it's maybe a politician that they like, I do not want to mention name, you would see them come out to, okay, let me give an example. The current governor of Abia State, there are a lot of people are hailing him that he's doing a very good job, which I appreciate him for. He's doing fantastically well in Abia State. Now, if he comes out to say something like, oh, if I had been in Osun State, so the election would have swayed in another way because of the good works I did I'm doing in Abia State. I would have convinced the people to actually vote this person because of the good works I'm doing in Abia State. Do you think that the media would have this same
so what do you
stand?
think? What do you think is the interpretation of what he said?
The interpretation of what he said is that I have done this before. He did it in Edo State, like
no,
I said.
it did not sound that way.
Let me explain it to you.
No, are you sure you've seen the video?
Yeah, I have.
Because
I watched the video.
it certainly did not sound that way.
See, let me say something. He has done it in Edo State before. Like I said before, September of 2020, when he went to Edo State and he told the people, look at what I have done in Rivers State, or look at what I'm doing in Rivers State. Obaseki has promised me that this is the same thing he's going to do when he becomes governor of Edo State. And the people of Edo State trust. See, most times, people look at this thing. Yeah, politics is a game of interests. You get where your interests lie. You understand? And the people, whether we like it or not, the people of Rivers State love Nyesom Wike because of the good work he did when he was governor of Rivers State. And
so why can't he stick to his office in Cross River? Why is he always extending to the Federal Capital Territory?
Because he's a minister of the Federal Capital Territory. He's the minister of the FCT. Do you understand?
Okay,
he's the minister.
okay.
And
See,
being the minister now is like the governor of the FCT. Do you understand that? That's the role.
Let me correct something you said.
Yeah,
you made mention that as far as it's not against the constitution, as far as it's not stated that you shouldn't do it, it doesn't mean it's wrong, right? Are you going to say that when the chief of defense staff came out to say forgive the bandits and forgive the terrorists, their prodigal sons taken back into society, was right?
It's constitutionally wrong.
Prove it.
Now, when someone has committed a crime, they are supposed to be punished constitutionally. Now, you're saying that they should forgive them. It's constitutionally wrong. Do you understand? So now, for the case of the FCT minister, he has done nothing
He
wrong.
did not. The chief of defense staff did not say they were not going to be punished. He
But
said
they'll
be punished, they will be rehabilitated, then they'll be brought back, and we should forgive them.
I did not see any place where he said they will be punished. What the chief of defense staff said was that Nigerians should forgive them and treat them like the prodigal son and reinitiate them back into the society and into the army. That's what I heard from the chief of defense staff. But which is constitutionally wrong. Okay,
you are trying to be very tricky. Now let me bring another one to your tables. When the president's advisor came out to say that Nigerians are not hungry, that there's no hunger in the land, there's no hunger in the land, and the roads are good, the expressway, Ibadan, all of those roads are good. So what will you say is wrong with that statement?
Now, for the case of what Daniel Boala said, you understand, if you look clearly, I said something when we had that section or
Okay.
segment. I said you would not blame him because there are the places he stays or the places he visits and the people around him will not tell him that they are hungry. Because imagine you're the spokesperson or you're the advisor to the president. You're associating yourself
So are
with
you
people.
saying it is right? What he said is right. Why not do your research? Why not do your findings? Why not send somebody to those rural areas, ask questions before making a conclusion that Nigerians are not hungry? What are you trying to prove?
Daniel Bola said something. I'm not defending Daniel Bola
You
in any
are.
way. No, I'm not defending him
Obviously,
in
the
any
same
way.
way you're defending Nyesom Wike's statements.
What I'm defending is we should stop painting things that these people did. Like that
Nobody
Nyesom Wike
is
did not say.
painting.
This is what he
Nyesom
said
Wike
is,
came out to say that the opposition party should start crying because they would not win. Why not speak for yourself? Why not speak for your party? We are going to win. We would call that confidence, right? But speaking for the opposition party, saying that they should start crying and they stand no chance, it's just a sort of arrogance.
it's a political
And it's coming from a
statement.
no,
Gratitude.
it's coming
It's a
from a
political.
place. It is coming from a place of certainty. Like you've sat in the back room around tables with these men and you're sure that they are going to win. Like they have something going on, something they are planning. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, let me ask you this. When a child goes and prepares for an exam and you ask the child, oh, what position are you going to take? And the child tells you, oh, I'm going to take first position. Does that mean that the other students...
Now let me correct that.
Okay.
That's a very different illustration. If that child comes out to say, I'm going to be the first in this class, very good. But if the child go further to say, anyone that tries to get first position should start crying because they would never get it, no matter how they read, I would always... That is very wrong. That child should even be disciplined because that's a very bad attitude.
See, that is not wrong. That is to show how confident they are. Like, you've prepared, you
don't have to sabotage your opposition for you to make a point or for you to win. That's why I said, that's why I said your character is questionable.
See.
The fact that, the second time we're having this argument about Nyesom Wike because he's an Igbo man.
Yes,
because you're also an Igbo man. You're taking it personal.
He's not an Igbo man, he's an Ikwere man.
Whatever.
Ikwere. So
no wonder now we understand.
The thing there is, His Excellency said, and I quote, that Osun State election, that the federal government did not intervene in the Osun State election. That even when the EFCC tried to intervene, that the president called them to order and all of that. That I do not know of. You understand? But from what he is saying, he's saying that look at other states that the federal government have involved themselves in the elections of the state and see how hard the people and the governors fought. He gave an example of himself. He gave an example of the likes of the former governor of Lagos State, Ambode. He gave an example of Samuel Otom of Benue State. And you understand, these are cases where you've seen that, okay, let me give you an example of Rivers State in 2019. For the first time, where we see the collation center of the INEC was being moved to the army camp instead of the INEC office. You understand? So there are cases of this thing. He even said he called the Osun State governor, in person of Senator Ademola Adeleke, and he asked him, how is the election going during the electoral process? He was like, oh, the election is actually going well. So you understand? So most people coming out to say, oh, the president and the FCC minister meant this or he meant that. I think we should stop deceiving the public and say for fact what the FCT minister said and stop reading meaning into most of all this.
Nobody is reading meaning. Nyesom Wike has a trademark.
Which is?
When he says something, we already know. It's just like you already know this person speaks from a point of arrogance and a point of
sorry. Is it arrogance? Is it arrogance?
You would know.
Self-aware.
You would know. It has nothing to do with self-awareness. That is bad character at its peak. Fine, it's not legally wrong, but there are some things you shouldn't come out to say.
Why?
There's some things you shouldn't come out to say. If someone comes out to be very insensitive, it is not illegal. It is not legal. Or how am I supposed to put it? It's not illegal to not be sensitive. But being insensitive is very wrong. Being unempathetic to your fellow Nigerians, your opposition is very, very wrong. Fine, you are in a game, you're in an election, you are trying to win. Speak for yourself. Speak from your own POV and let the other party do whatever it is they want to do. So why are you speaking like there has been a round table discussion and there's a plan going on the ground that you have control of? What kind of statement is that?
Most Nigerians don't understand politics, and most times they speak from a place of emotion. You understand? I would use an example to.
So you understand politics?
Yeah, I've been following politics from 2015. You
Yeah.
understand? So you understand?
Give us.
Let's look at the American election. You understand? Donald Trump said something. He said, "I have done everything I need to do, and come." I think I forgot when the election held, and come on the day of the election, I know for a fact that I would emerge victorious. Will you call that a statement of?
You are missing the point. Clearly,
Wait,
intentionally, you're missing the point.
Now. Would you call
If
that,
the statement was made on a self, if it was on a self statement, like I am going to win, I know for a fact that I'm going to win. I've done what I need to do. I am, but not dragging the opposition party.
Why?
Not,
it
like it doesn't make any sense.
If I know,
doesn't.
See, listen. If I know that, okay, this is how. Let me pardon me to use football for example. If you are playing a game of football and I know that, okay, for me to actually win this thing, I need to rattle this person for this person to get a red card and leave.
Do you know that
I'm going to do it and give this person out
shot yourself in the leg. Do you know why? Countless times, so many times, we've spoken here on the tactics of some of these politicians that you have kicked against. Like this thing you said, rattling, taking out things, the dirty games in politics. You have spoken off about it on this show. And secondly, the second to last episode on the page by page, where we're talking about Okwebolo shading the dancing governor, trying to mention his deficiencies in the state. You spoke against it.
I did not.
You boo-boo, you spoke against it.
Listen, I never
you outrightly called Okwebolo, I don't want to say it, but you did. So why are you flipping the tables when it has to do with Nyesom Wike, your idol, right?
Listen, I never shaded Governor Okwebolo.
Should we replay?
Listen, I never shaded Governor Okwebolo for calling him a dancing governor. What I said was he should focus on what is happening in his state. Do you understand? You see, you cannot have log on your eye and you're going to remove the one on another person's eye. See, we've dwelt a lot on this topic. I think we would need to revisit.
We would need to, after replaying your response to Okwebolo and Governor Adeleke's saga in Osun State before the gubernatorial election. I think we need to review that before you talk about Nyesom Wike, because you're taking sides and it's not fair.
See, I'm not taking sides. All I'm saying is that. Let me conclude with this. Yeah. If we know that, okay, this is not, I'm going to do this in order to rattle the opposition, in order to make them look, in order to get them off their game. And I know that if I do it, it's going to, of course I'm going to do it. Because I'm not contesting the election to be a contest. I'm contesting to go and win. You understand? So,
do you know what, in your words, I'm going to quote you right now. You said the best strategy to win an election or try to be on the good side of the people is to recount things you've done in the office. Now, this is focusing on what you've done, your trademark, focusing on you, not trying to rattle. Now, you're mentioning rattling because it involves Nyesom Wike. In the next episode, you guys should pay attention. He's going to switch. He's going to switch, and I'm here to watch you. Okay, we've come to the end of this amazing episode of Page by Page on Romy Royal Television. And also don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and X at Romy Royal Media. My name is Gratitude Imokwede.
And my name is Bubu Durugo. It's been nice on this set. Bye for now.
Your name is actually Bubu Durugo. Truly. Bye, guys.